Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce our speaker for today's program for you, Dr. Jan Southern with Delser Marketing. With more than 30 years in marketing, her experience includes brand identity, strategic planning, advertising, market research, publishing, and strategic communications for public and private sector companies. Jan is the publisher of Pooler Magazine, Effingham Magazine, and Bryan County Magazine. She holds a doctorate in public administration and a master's of business administration. She is a member of several civic organizations in Georgia and is on the board of the West Chatham YMCA. Y'all will join me in welcoming her. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, let me get myself situated. I'm a lefty, so. Okay. Okay, so thank you guys for having me today. I was really excited. I've been thinking about this topic of growth in the area for a really long time and really want to share with local businesses about what we can do to really capitalize on that. So Delser Marketing, we're a full service marketing agency. One of the things that we specialize in though is helping businesses step back and think about their strategy before we spend money, right, on time and resources on marketing and advertising to really have a plan. So that's what we help businesses do mostly. So we equip businesses with the right tools and tactics for their specific needs. We also own Effingham Magazine and Pooler Magazine have been around for more than 17 years, and we started at the request of several people that in our area to start Bryan County Magazine, and that's been working out really well for our readers. They love it, and our advertisers are getting great results from it as well. So I want to talk about the challenges that you all might be having with promoting your businesses. We're all super busy. What are some of the challenges that you think are out there in marketing and promoting your businesses? Anybody have any thoughts on that? Yep.
Probably targeting your ideal demographic.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Hi.
Creativity.
Okay, very good. That's a great one. Anybody else? Okay, very good. Yep, that's absolutely true. And video content. We've got Kay in our studios here today helping me, but video content too is another challenge, I think, for small businesses. So yeah, there's a lot of challenges, right? Costs are up, all of our expenses are up, competition is fierce, hiring has been a challenge in the last few years, and we're all stretched really thin, right? How many hats are you guys wearing? I'm wearing like 10, right? And it's a noisy marketplace. Consumers are bombarded with so many messages, and it's hard to cut through that noise and get your business out in front and the target audience to be able to see your information. It's really challenging. And marketing has become pretty complicated. I used to say it's not difficult, but it is. It's kind of challenging. You don't know which tactics to choose. Again, getting the right message in front of the right people. And if you think marketing is easy, you're probably doing it wrong. I'm just going to tell you right now. But to me, I'm excited about this. I think it's an incredible time to be in Southeast Georgia, Bryan County especially. It's an exciting time, and I'm really passionate about helping businesses figure out how to maximize this. All this new growth coming, how are we going to get in front of those people, the right people, and get your message in front of them? In our local market, like Summer said, Georgia economy is super strong. It's expected to outpace the rest of the country. Our area, population growth is up. Bryan County and Effingham County are even performing even better. And Bryan County is one of the fastest growing counties in the country. Personal income is growing, so it's up 4.3%. Unemployment is super low as well. Consumer spending is up. Even with inflation, consumers are buying. So there's a lot of conversation around that, but consumers are buying even though things are really expensive. So now's the time to really focus on attracting new business because of this influx of new people. And I feel like we talk to a lot of small businesses in our company, and there's a lot of energy around and excitement around the new people coming into the area. The new residents and current residents are just really, it's a good time. Now, you're probably thinking, I don't have any time. I don't have any more time to spend on, figuring out new ways to bring people to my business. But I want to emphasize, it's not enough to just have a storefront or have a sign on, on the main road to bring people into your business, to bring new people in. We've got to be proactive and be very strategic in how we do it. And if you're thinking about that and thinking, I don't have the time or energy to put into it, just think about how much more revenue could you bring in, or how much time could you save if you just thought about doing things a little bit differently. So my hope is that from here, there's a lot to cover in the things that you can do to attract new business, and I'm really just going to skim the surface of most of it, but just if you could walk away with 1 or 2 tips, that would be really great. So it's a great time to seize that opportunity. On the slides, there'll be a QR code. We have a page of resources of the things I'm talking about, as well as some downloads, some worksheets we'll have here. So take advantage of that. It's free. There's no sign-in or anything for that. And thinking about that, bringing in one new customer, I like to think about the customer lifetime value. Is anyone familiar with that formula? It's pretty simple. It's basically one customer, and how long do you think that they would stay with your company? How many years? And you kind of calculate their value. So one new customer could bring you a lot of new business. We have an advertiser in Pooler. It's a little repair shop, auto repair shop. And he advertised in Pooler magazine, and the magazines are distributed all over the area. And there was a gentleman that picked up Pooler magazine at City Hall, and he came to the auto repair shop to get new tires and an oil change. Okay, so the owner was telling me the story, and it was a really great example of this customer lifetime value. So he spent about $475 getting an oil change and new tires, and then we knew he was happy with the service, and the owner said he would be coming back. So we figure, 2 more oil changes in the year, so that's another $80 each. So about $635 from that one customer in a year. And then you figure he's probably going to stay a customer for 3 years. He might move, he might decide to change service people. But if he stayed for 3 years, that's $1,900 from that one customer. But it gets better because he brought his daughter's car in, right? And so that's another $240. And the owner told me that man referred 2 more customers to his auto repair shop, which is another $480 annually. So if we just think about the individual customer that you could attract, it can really be, it's definitely worth the effort, right? And I do work with a lot of businesses, and I do hear some hesitation of changing the way we do things, or just continuing to do things the way that we always have. And I love this quote from Peter Drucker: "The greatest danger in times of turbulence isn't the turbulence, it's to act with yesterday's logic." So just thinking differently, it's brings so much benefit. And I also do one-on-one consulting with business owners and marketers, where we walk through about 11 sessions where we walk through creating a good marketing strategy for their particular business. And one of the things that I found in doing that was often their mindset or their limiting beliefs was what was holding them back from change. And so I just say the only thing that might be keeping us from real success is ourselves. And I talk to them about an entrepreneurial mindset. So an entrepreneurial mindset is somebody who believes in their ability to influence their own outcomes and have a why that compels them to do what they do. We work hard, and we have to have an understanding of what really drives us to do what we do. And they see adverse events as opportunities. They're resilient and resourceful. They're lifelong learners. So always, I don't know about you, but for me with marketing, I love marketing, but it's constantly changing, and I'm constantly learning, and I do love that. And then surrounding themselves with like-minded, positive people. And you guys you're doing that right now. You're together and you're networking with other great like-minded people. A marketing plan can be really complicated. It can be large, it can be small, it can be very flexible. Today what we're going to talk about is just some basic things. Once you have your goals, you want to focus on your target audience. having a really good message that it resonates with those people that you're targeting. Reach them where they are. So not everybody's on the same social media platforms. They're not looking at the same content that, we're not all the same. So finding your target audience and knowing where they are so that you can speak to them is really important. Consistency. We know that businesses that are consistent in their marketing and advertising do so much better. So that's critically important. Budgeting, just understanding how much you think you can devote to your marketing and advertising in time and money is really important. Okay, so now we'll talk about your target audience. So finding your people. Knowing who your ideal customer is. We all want to advertise to everybody, right? I mean, we want anybody and everybody to come to our business, but we don't all have unlimited resources. And even the biggest companies in the world don't try to market to everyone. They target the people that they know are going to be their ideal customer, and they focus their efforts and their resources on those people. Who's going to be the best customer, who's most likely to buy from you, and who's most likely to be a long-term customer, because that's really important. And if you're not sure how to go about getting that information, you can look at your CRM system, your point of sale, your point of purchase systems. You can take a little time to look at the analytics on social media, look at your website analytics to see the types of people that are coming to you, know your customers that are coming in your shop or your clients that are coming to you, and kind of start forming a buyer persona, or what they call a customer avatar, to develop what that person looks like. So that's really important to think about. And you will attract other people as well, but if you're spending your time and resources on those, the ones that are going to bring you the most business is what's important. In the download page, there is also an audience analysis worksheet, so take advantage of that, jot some things down, and start to think about what your audience looks like and what your ideal customer looks like. And then we want to make sure we're adapting. So we're all trying to attract any new people coming into the area. We want them to come to us, right? So thinking about what you currently offer and how you currently communicate, and adapting that to these new audiences coming in. There may be cultural differences, there may be just needs and different experiences, and we want to be flexible and adapt to what they might need. And put yourself in their shoes, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit in a minute. Some ways that you can find out that information. AI, we all interested in AI, right? I use ChatGPT all the time for conversation. Like I will do research, I'll ask it weird questions, and it's amazing the answers you get. Good information. It's not all perfect, and I worry about people that rely 100% on it for content, but it is a really great tool. So one of the things you can do is ask, what do people look for so I did one, I just said, what would a young family with 2 children who recently moved to South Georgia want to know about the area? And it produced this list for me. And some of it might have been obvious, but I found a few little nuggets in there, like local traditions and festivals. People coming to the area want to know about the local traditions. Just something like that. So think about your business and some of the questions you might ask to just get a little, maybe there's a piece in there that you'll find out about your ideal customer that you didn't think about. Also Google, I did a search just for an example, should I go to a chiropractor? And if you notice in Google, it'll show you people also asked these questions. And sometimes the words that you think people are looking for around your business, it might not be the words you think it is. So doing a little bit of research to just, maybe you come up with something a little bit different that you can use in your marketing. And then once you understand your target audience, we want to make sure we focus on your message. Your messaging, this is something we find with our advertising. Christy Wilson's here with me from the magazines, and a lot of times as businesses, we want to tell people the features of our business. So we're veteran owned, or we've been in business for 35 years, those kinds of things. We want to flip that and focus on what it means to the customer. So being customer focused and focusing on your brand features, not so much your, it's not about you. I always tell people this too. It ain't about you. It's about them. Why should they care what you sell if it doesn't resonate with them? If it's not, and I'll go into this real quick. So it doesn't matter where you advertise. If your message doesn't resonate with your target audience, it's a missed opportunity and a waste of money. So we also have this worksheet, your unique selling proposition worksheet. Your business, your products or services either solve a problem, satisfy a need, or fulfill a desire. That's it. Not all three, probably one or two. So if you think about your products and services and how you're going to market them, you think about it from the customer's point of view. Do you solve a problem for them? Do you satisfy a need? Or do you fulfill some sort of desire that they might have? So with messaging, you want to know your audience and what interests them, have a message that resonates, and know where to reach them, and don't always be selling yourself. So even on social media, you know, we always are putting out, hey, we're great, we're great, we're great. You know, tell them why you can change something for them and make their life better. That's the way the messaging should be. And keep your messaging consistent and on brand. So even on social media, we also do something with brand pillars. So understanding who you are and those key points about your company and the tone of voice and style, and always keep that consistent in any conversations that you have on social media or in your advertising. Is this making sense for everyone? Am I going too fast or anything? Okay. So again, don't spend a dime or another minute without having a strategy, please. And it doesn't have to, it's not complicated, you just have to take a little time to do it. So new residents and visitors equals new customers for us. Where do they go when they come to the area to find information on their community? They may be looking ahead a couple of months before they move here. They might be looking at the area and how are they doing that? Some of the ways obviously is Google. They're asking their neighbors, they're talking with, word of mouth, talking with friends, looking online. Local businesses, they go into local businesses. Doctors' offices, churches, any other organizations, city government websites. Local magazines and websites. I'm telling you, people keep our magazines for a year. And new people coming in, they're like, oh, I had held on to that one from 2022 because I knew I was going to need a roofer. They do look at those. And community groups online. We obviously know the Facebook groups.
Well, I was going to say, and hopefully everyone's asking these questions, because I'm always surprised when people call my office. The first two questions we ask them is, why are you shopping for insurance, and how did you find out about us?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I am shocked because someone will say it's a mailer that you sent out. Well, I'm thinking,
when did I do that?
Go out in 8 months, and to
they
your
keep
point,
it.
It's sitting there because they want a plan
they
B,
knew,
right?
Yeah.
When I need an option, this is who I'm going to call. I'm not calling them today. I'm not calling them tomorrow, but I eventually will. And so getting that information and tracking it and analyzing it, will tell you a lot about where your money's going and where you're getting your return.
I'll bring something up about that. It's planting a seed with people, and it isn't. Marketing and advertising isn't always transactional. We think with social media, you're going to put a post out, you're going to get a customer. I mean, you can, but that's not really where the benefit is. The benefit is that planting those seeds and that building it so that they know, like, and trust you, and then they're going to come to you eventually. We had somebody come to us the other day for marketing help. We hadn't talked to her in 4 years, but when she was ready, she came to us and she wants us to help with social media and websites and things like that. So it's not just transactional. We have to kind of change our way of thinking about that. So another way, to think about attracting new business. What is that?
Like a good neighbor.
Oh, say fun. I won't sing. But being, I didn't plan that. But, so being a good neighbor. So are you communicating and being a resource to new people come into the area? I always say train your team too. So when people come in your store or call your office, have them be knowledgeable about the community, know about the seafood festival coming up and how they can get involved, where they can go to find that information. Train them on the kind of common questions that people might be asking, that new people coming into the area. If you know somebody's new in your business, that's come into your business, ask if they have any questions about the area. Maybe they're a single adult male and you know they're new to the area, maybe you have, keep it in the back of your mind, some things that you could suggest for them. And they start to trust you, and they see you as a credible person or credible business in the community. Make suggestions, like I said, offer them information. And having this information on your website and on social media is really important. Is anybody here from Heather Murphy Group today? So they have this blog post on their website, and it's Moving to Bryan County, and it's a really great resource for people moving to Bryan County, and we can all have that kind of content on there. And then focusing on your online presence. There's several things we can do here. Your Google business profile, make sure it's optimized, and there's so many examples of businesses that have out-of-date content on their Google business profile. I went to a coffee shop and I wanted to get there at 7 a.m. because I had a meeting and I needed to sit down and do some work, and I looked online. They opened at 7. I drove there. They didn't open till 8. On the door it said 8. That's going to, somebody coming new is not going to, you're going to be hesitant to go back there because their information's not up to date. It happens a lot. So I always suggest, even once a month, just give it a quick look. Have you updated anything? Put some promotions, photos on there, track your manager reviews. That's a whole topic we could sit down and do in a different session, but taking a look at all of that stuff once a month, just make sure it's on point. Websites are really, really important. Some people think that they're not. And one of the biggest reasons to have a website is when people are curious, they're going to go check you out on your website. It's also critically important for Google search engine optimization, and that sort of thing. Having location-based content on your website, you have to. So if you're serving a certain community, you should have those names of those cities and towns on your on the homepage preferably. And then maybe even have a separate page for Richmond Hill and Pembroke. Have different pages. The content can be redundant, but the reason to do that is because it's really helpful for the search. SEO, search engine optimization. Again, a big topic, and it can be very time consuming and very expensive depending on your business, but I'm just going to skim through a couple of things that we can do as small businesses. Product and service related keywords and phrases. Like I said before, it isn't always obvious what words people are searching when they're looking for your type of business. So do some research and find those keywords and phrases that people use, and then use those on your website. So on your homepage, when you're welcoming people, or on your about page, make sure some of those keywords are peppered throughout your website, because that's how the search engines find you and bring you up in the results. I mean, that's a basic way of explaining it. And then having local keywords and phrases. So I go back to the Seafood Festival because you just talked about that, but mention Richmond Hill on, and then the Seafood Festival. Mention local things on your website, and that will also bring you up in searches when new people are looking for content. Technical things like title tags, meta descriptions, your header tags should have the right, they should be labeled properly and have the right keywords. Another little trick that none of us do, and I'm guilty of it as well because it's time, it takes a few extra minutes. When you're uploading photos, name those photos something relevant, and you don't want to fake it and stuff, keywords, but if the photo is for this talk, Richmond Hill Chamber talk, label it that, and when you upload it, that helps actually with your search engine optimization as well. And we do want to do the same thing on social media. And reciprocal links. How many of you have the Richmond Hill Bryan County Chamber of Commerce link on your website? Does anybody know? You do, of course. Well, that's great. Those reciprocal links, that's what I call them, is links to other businesses, other organizations on your websites. Google recognizes that as, oh, okay, they're like really legit because they connect with all these other businesses. Let's bring them up a little higher in the search results. Again, this is just my basic way of explaining it. And then sharing other businesses' content, which we'll talk about in a minute. Google snippets, this is a new thing, relatively new. Google wants people to find what they're looking for on Google. So they're adding a lot of your content right there on the search results, and snippets are one of the ways. There's a bunch of levels of types of snippets, and there's a link on that web page that can explain a little bit more about that. But as long as your content is consistent and has those keywords, it's going to really help your search engine optimization. And like I said, do the same thing on social. Use those keywords in your social posts. Also, email is incredibly important. So as you're building new business and you're bringing new people to your business, make sure you're capturing their emails and nurturing those email lists. Email them once in a while. I don't know, some people don't want to do it too often, but you want to nurture those relationships and keep that list fresh and current, because people change emails a lot too, so you want to make sure it stays fresh. And 75% of internet users are willing to interact via email with brands that interest them, so it's no problem to email your potential customers. And if a social media platform went down, I don't know if y'all remember a couple years ago, Facebook went down for a day. You lose all those followers. You don't own those followers at all. So your email is the asset, because you'll lose them if that platform goes down. Another great way to attract new business is getting involved in the community. Obviously, the Richmond Hill Bryan County Chamber. Think about local businesses that complement what you offer and partner with them. So if you're a med spa, for instance, maybe there's a hair salon that you could partner with for events or special offers and things like that. And if a new customer comes to that med spa, maybe the hair salon has a special, they offer a discount or they offer a free product or something for those med spa customers. So think about how we can partner together with other businesses that have complementary products and services. Does that make sense? Again, reciprocal links on your websites. Like, follow, and share. Let's like, follow, and share each other, right? Because it tells these new people coming into the area that you're involved, you're connected in the community, and it just gives a lot of credibility to you, and it support. We all support each other. And having that localized content and the use of hashtags and localized hashtags is good too. Networking, we're all doing that today. Volunteering, get involved in things. Think outside the box about how you can get involved. There's a lot of different ways, and it doesn't have to be super time consuming. You can pick, one thing a month that you want to get involved in and participate. Feels good too. At events, have a booth. Sponsor, right? Referral programs. So if you offer a referral program within your business, someone might have a new neighbor that just moved into the area. If they know there's a little incentive for them, they might invite that person to your business, and that's another way to attract. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. And welcome packages, I think, are also really great. Realtors do a great job of this. They give, they'll sometimes have a basket for a new buyer, a home buyer, when they move into their home. There's ways that you can get involved in that, offering something from your business in that. Churches and schools, there's always ways to get involved and connect with new people. Another really effective way to do this is with advertising. So digital advertising, you can target people so specifically. So now that you really understand who your target audience is, you can reach them online with paid social campaigns, but also with digital display, where you can geo-target, you can target by demographics, but you can also geo-fence certain areas. So if there's a neighborhood that a huge number of people just moved in, that's your type of customer, you can geo-fence that area, and your ads will be served up to them while they're doing other things online. We did a campaign with a local gym, and there was a CrossFit business down the road that they knew was going out of business. So I said, let's do a historical geofence around, the geofence is like a virtual perimeter, online perimeter around that business. So we said, anyone who's gone into the virtual perimeter of this CrossFit business within the last 90 days, we're going to serve them up, and they meet our demographics. So it was, I think it was like age 35 or 25 to 50 women aged 25 to 50, certain income in a certain area. They were served up the ad for the new gym because the CrossFit place was closing, so maybe they needed to find a new gym. So we did and anyone who went into that area within the last 90 days, we served them up ads for the gym, and it worked out really well. And we offer a free digital audit, so looking at your online presence and just assessing it for you, and we send you a report. It's free, there's no obligation or anything like that, and that can just kind of help you get started about where, how your business is doing online, and that way you can make some changes and think about a plan. And having a budget, and I emphasize money, but also time. And it really doesn't have to be a lot of money. There's a lot of statistics about how much a business should spend on marketing. I'm really conservative here. With a small business, 8 to 10% of monthly revenue, say it's $20,000 you make in a monthly revenue, you should probably devote $1,800 a month to marketing and advertising. If it's a super small business, $10,000 a month, it's only $500 a month. But if you think about it and you say, okay, I'm willing to set this aside, that's going to make everything consistent, because you're going to know every month this is what you're going to spend, and you can be more consistent with your marketing. And thinking about that, what it's worth to you to spend a little bit of time stepping back and strategizing how you're going to market your business to these new people, it should be worth a lot. Does this seem overwhelming to anyone? Like, oh, more things I have to do? It doesn't have to be. So Warren Buffett says, I don't look to jump over 7-foot bars. I look for 1-foot bars that I can step over. And that's what I try to emphasize with businesses, start small. Just let's do some low-hanging fruit, get those things done, and then you can move on to some more complex things. And get excited about it. And this is a tremendous opportunity we have. And I want everyone to, take advantage of this time with the growth and not sit back and hope people will find us. Let's be proactive and make sure that they find us. And there's a checklist on this download. It goes over all the things that I talked about and a few more. And you can check them off as you accomplish them. My suggestion would be to pick one thing. I mean, if you have a marketing strategy already, well done, But if you really haven't thought about it as a real plan, pick one of those things on the checklist and do that this week. Pick another one next week and kind of build on it. And before you know it, you've got a consistent marketing strategy. And it's an incredible time to be in business in our area, so I really want everyone to make the most of it. We're going to do I've been thinking about this concept of the specific tools for us to attract new business, and we're going to do a more in-depth, because as I said, I only touched on these topics, and we'll do an in-depth webinar about it, and if you would like to sign up for that and get on a waiting list for it, there's a link for that as well. And all of these links are on the same download. And that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions? No questions?
Great presentation.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Are you okay?
You were right on time. So thank you, Jan. You did a fantastic job, so we really appreciate it. Let's give her a hand.
Oh,